Golf Whiskey.
November 3 Sierra Whiskey. November 3 Sierra Whiskey, go ahead.
Yeah, it's November 3 Sierra Golf Whiskey, SGW.
Gotcha, sir. Go ahead. What's the name?
The name is Keith, Kilo Echo India Tango Hotel. I'm located in Pennsylvania. And I was curious, as you told me to make some modifications to the audio and change the compression, and the ALC is on a little bit above the middle of the scale now, the way you had suggested. Does it sound any better?
Oh, sounds beautiful. Now, what radio? Are you running the 7300?
Yeah, that's correct.
Roger. Tell me about your. Tell me about that radio and what your first impressions of that radio were.
Honestly, I think it's noisy. I don't know. It must be the area I live in Philadelphia, but it picks up a lot of noise, and I can't seem to. I mean, it's like try to get on nets at the middle of the night, and I have a constant S5, S6 noise level. And it seems to be noisier than my older Kenwood TS440S, and I'm not sure why, but I like the radio, but it's got it's all right. It works.
Roger. I was going to see how much you wanted for it. We could work out a deal there. The other thing is, sometimes we have devices within our own dwelling that are generating a lot of QRM, particularly switching power supplies. And I have found that the best thing is when you have a total neighborhood power failure. Get your radio on battery and see the noise difference between when the AC is on and when the AC is off. And that'll give you some idea of what the man-made noise in your area is. The other thing would be that you could create a somewhat similar situation by having an alternate power supply for your radio and pulling your AC mains, so you are rendering your house powerless except for your radio, and that way you can ascertain if that particular noise is emanating from your QTH. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I use an actual older, very heavy regulated power supply because I don't really care for the switching ones, and I do think that they do generate noise. And I also found that even a simple cell phone charger, it was weird when I plugged it in. I lost the whole band, and I couldn't figure out what it was for a while, and I unplugged it, and it went away. So, yeah, I have been checking on that stuff. It seems like it's an outside concern, like more of a transformer or something.
Oh, roger that. Well, it can be challenging, to say the least. I also have used an old AM portable radio and tuned above the band just slightly or below the band just slightly, and did some walking around the house, sniffing for various kinds of electrical disturbances, particularly around power poles. The base of power poles gives you some indication of if the bad signal, distortions and QRM is coming in by the power lines. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, in regards to the audio of this radio, the only thing I haven't found yet is the some kind of foam to put over the stock handheld microphone. So I try and make it a point to talk across it rather than directly into it, which I know I lose a little bit of audio by doing that.
Roger, well, you can go to any music store. Any music store will have foam windscreens, and hopefully they have sold out of their old stock of foam windscreens and have the new ones, which are only about 3 inches long. So you can, if you have your hand mic there, if you're using a hand mic, you can slip it over the top. You might have to cut out a little bit on the edge where the PTT button is, but otherwise it would just slip over the top and offer you quite a bit of protection as far as trashy sounds coming out of that radio. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Just with your experience, is there any other microphone that you suggest that might actually work better than the stock mic that comes with it, although everybody says the stock mic is awesome?
Yes, the stock mic is awesome. And the thing is, if you did that, see, what you would want to do would be to replace that microphone with a condenser desktop microphone. That would be the ideal thing. That would give you the the advantage of a desktop microphone and not sacrificing a bunch of audio articulation, which is the hallmark of the condenser microphone. Roger?
Hey, Roger that. I appreciate your feedback, and I know there's other stations that want to get out there and make a contact with you, because I did hear other stations in there. So I don't know what SDR, if you're using an SDR to pick me up and which one, but hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear, and you're definitely a 5.9 into Pennsylvania. You definitely sound real good. Your audio is fantastic as usual.
Thank you, sir. I'm using my local antenna. I didn't switch around. It could have been better, but it was almost perfect the way it was, so I just left it. So you're running about a 3 on your compressor, Roger, Roger?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm running a 45 mic gate and 3 on the compression.
Yeah, Roger. I'd leave it like that, man. Sounds good. What do you know how to get to tone through menu settings?
Yeah, the software-defined radio is a pain, but I have figured out how to do that, how to change the tone and the bass. What do you suggest?
Just curious. Tell me what it's reading now, and we'll figure it out.
On sideband, I have the TX treble is a +4 and the TX bass is at 0.
Yeah, I would leave it like that. Now, and you are in the widest possible bandwidth?
Yeah, I have it set on the widest because I was told with local communication it's the most comforting and it's not annoying.
Roger. And, the thing is, when you go to less than the widest bandpass possible, you start cutting down on both ends of the spectrum, and it's usually more noticeable on the top end. So here you are trying to get this articulation going, and then if you restrict the bandpass, you're rolling off the top end. So you're really kind of defeating your purpose there. I say roll it widest possible all the time. The thing about trying to restrict it for contest and DX, again, it's a moot question because you're looking for articulation. If you're doing contest or a DX, you will probably be in pileups, and so you want the maximum amount of intelligibility going for you, and that will be in the widest possible operation of the radio, and you can always roll off that bottom end, if you want to be a little more defined, but keep the top end and stay in the widest mode possible. Roger?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you say that, because I was told to narrow the bandwidth when I am trying to make DX contact, and I actually found it to be the opposite. I think the widest is the most intelligible, and it seems to work the best. Where when I've narrowed the bandwidth, I had to repeat myself numerous times for a station to understand me. So I do believe you're right on that, and it seems to work fine that way.
Oh yeah. I really think you need to be all you can be in a pileup. I mean, you don't want to be Mr. Mumbles. You want to have the maximum amount of articulation so they can hear you. Even if you're 10 dB below their noise level, if your articulation in the audio is good, they'll still be able to hear what you're saying, even though your audio is below their noise level.
Yeah, copy that. I found with this radio and the butternut HF6B, and it's just ground mounted, and there's no real actual radials coming from it. Just a ground rod all the way, 8 foot in the ground, and 35 watts into an SB200, which gives me around roughly 300 PEP. Seems to work ideal. And with the audio the way it is, I seem to have no problem with local and DX stations. It seems to work real well.
Oh, that's it, Roger. Yeah, 300 to 500 watts is a nice signal that is going to do the most good. I mean, if you run a kilowatt, you're a little louder, but barely. So, 300 to 500 watts is really ideal. Makes your tubes last a little longer, too.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I picked up an old SB200 that was... It actually had the original tubes in it from the day it was built. I got a really good deal on it, and I've been using it for a while, and I only run about 35 watts to it at the most, and it seems to work fine. I don't need to turn it up, and I don't want to damage it. So, yeah, it's been working out real good. Hey, I appreciate the conversation, and like I said, I don't want to be a hog here. I know there's other stations that want to talk to you. I'm sure of that. But, you do a nice thing. I appreciate what you do as far as the radios and the audio checks. So KC9VKV, I've got some stuff to get done, and I want to get out of here. It was definitely nice conversing with you, and I'll catch you again, definitely. It's been a few times, but I'll definitely be calling on you again, especially when I get the windscreen, and you can let me know how that sounds. So KC9VKV, November 3, Sierra Golf Whiskey.
Roger, Keith. Yeah, any music store will have that, and probably in a multitudinous amounts of flavors as far as colors. They usually have many different shades of color there, so you can pick the one you want. And the thing is, without the windscreen, folks sometimes have more distortions, louder distortions from the element running without a windscreen. These distortions, audio distortions, are louder than their actual words. So in a way, they're QRMing themselves. So when you put a windscreen on, you cut all that residual garbage out, and there's nothing left but the words. That's the neat thing. Windscreen is all positive, no downfalls to it. So 3's Keith, catch you later, man. Good to talk at you, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'll say 3's for now, and this is KC9VKV and the Qso-Vlog network. If you've got a radio that you want to check out, give us a shout. This is KC9VKV.